Welcome to Kinsmen Field, North Vancouver. It's a beautiful day for the beautiful game. It's Father's Day. It's League 1BC Men's Division action. It's Altitude FC taking on TSS Rovers in what should be an absolute cracking match here on the North Shore. I'm your match commentator, Michael McCall from AFTN. These two teams met last Sunday in the League 1BC featured game at Swangard Stadium. TSS came away with a 4-0 victory then. Altitude will feel stung by that. They're going to want to get their revenge this week, try and get back the bragging rights in the Ironworkers derby. They got a draw and a win on the men's side last year. What can they do this afternoon? It should be a cracker. We'll start things off with the starting lineups for both sides. In goals for TSS Rovers, Justin Sandu. Along the back line, at right back, number 14, former Altitude man Tyler Dillon. Number 17, Danilo Shmichenko. Number 5, Nick Burrett. And starting at the left back role, number 25, Fugo Sagawa. Midfield 3 of the defensive midfielder, number 6, Ali Zohar. Number 12, Grant Verhoeven. Number 13, Kyle Jones. And a dangerous front 3. On one side, you've got number 11, leading scorer for the Rovers, Eric Edwardson. On the other, number 8, Ivan Mahea. And leading the line for the Rovers this afternoon, another former Altitude player, number 9, Masood Habibullah. For the home side, Altitude FC. In goal, it's number 1, Trevor Schneider. Give you the rest in numerical order. Number 3, Wiz Shavula. Number 5, Saka Kanate. Number 6, Matthew Marshall. Number 7, Sairub. Number 10, Stasia Heo. Number 14, Atos Disekera. Number 16, Eagle Brook. Number 20, David Rodriguez Zagara. Number 22, Nathan Walters. And number 23, Lucas Booth. The man in the middle this afternoon, referee Amir Ramic. First assistant referee, Ire Dimitris. Second assistant referee, Rodrigos Zadunalski. And the fourth official for this one this afternoon, and I'm sure we're going to be getting an earful from both benches, Joshua Hooving. Shooting from right to left down the slope in this first half, wearing the all-red jerseys with the white trim, as Kyle Jones gets this one underway for TSS. The home side, Altitude, left to right in this first half, in the blue jerseys with the black shorts. It was a good performance from TSS last weekend. They'll look to build on that, as the way that the standings are in League 1 just now, it's like 3 points were separating first to 7th place one stage this season, and it's stayed tight since then as well. TSS looking to get that first place finish, book another berth in the Canadian Championship, and it's in their own hands just now. If they can win out the rest of the season, they will be claiming that number 1 seed and that all-important Canadian Championship berth. Altitude, the playoffs look like they might be a bit of a tall order for them at the moment. That said though, you've got to say that they have been a much better team than their results are putting up for them, and they would be like nothing more than to go on the kind of run that they finished last season with a string of wins to move them up the table. Then who knows how the results can go. Just now though, it's TSS on the attack. Masood Habibullah got on the score sheet last week with the first goal, the former Altitude FC man. As Zohar floats into the back host to Mahea, sends it back across the box, and a header! Great header from Kyle Jones, but equally a great save there from Trevor Schneider to keep us goalless here in the early going. The TSS women got off to a fast start with a goal 4 minutes in. The men nearly tried to beat that with a goal 2 minutes in. One of the smallest men on the pitch, Kyle Jones, with a header there. Acrobatic stop though from Trevor Schneider. As Jones then sends the corner kick in, battling away, wins it back, but the flag up. Ali Zohar in an offside position. Schneider sends this goal kick deep into the TSS half, but it's played back into the altitude one. Tyler Dillon now wins the ball back for TSS, has a chance to break up the right, tries to poke it inside to Masoud Habibullah, and it's going to be the second corner kick of the early going here for TSS. Kyle Jones over to take this one again. As TSS send some big bodies up into that box. Crowding in the 6-yard box, and referee Amir Ramic doesn't like something that he sees there, just wanting to speak to the players. Jones now will send this corner kick in. Again, it's to the near post. Zohar flicks it out, comes to Mahia on the edge of the box, and a wild swing from the Colombian maestro there, just sending that one flying over the crossbar. And it's going to be another goal kick coming up to altitude. This time they get on with it quickly, and the ball out very fast to Marshall. In acres of room out on the far side. TSS win it back quickly though, and the ball just gets away from Grant Verhoeven. Sugo Fagawa with a quick throw in for TSS. Another fast pitch start to the game, as we saw in the women's game. Eric Everson tries to poke that one past with Shavula, but Shavula recovers well. Habibullah powering his way into the box, goes down to ground. Nothing in that one for me. Trying to win the favour from the referee, but good tackle there from Nathan Walters. Ball's just getting away a little bit from Habibullah there. Marshall now plays that ball inside for a Hale. He'll touch it outside to Shavula. Driving the ball forward there, Lucas Booth. Good ball to find Marshall. He's got a bit of work to do. Plays it back to Rodriguez. Pretty sure Altitude will feel that 4-0 scoreline last week doesn't really reflect the side that they are. Wasn't one of their best outings of this season, as TSS really turned on the style. A bit of a lunge there from Sairub, and thought he was almost going to get a booking there, which was a bit early to bring the card out in my mind. It was a clumsy one by Sairub on Zohar, but no real malice in it for me. Ball forward here for Edwardson. The flag up very quickly though by the far side linesman. Canati will now bring this one out for Altitude. Little touch inside to Rodriguez, who flicks it on just over the head though of De Sequeira. A Hale wins it back though in the middle of the field. Sairub now lines up a shot, flashes that one past the left post, not really troubling Justin Sandu at all. It's a windy one here in North Vancouver this afternoon. Mentioned during the women's game, when the wind picks up here, it really does pick up. It's beautiful in the sun. Spent a little bit of time chatting to the Swan Guardians in between the matches and standing there behind the goal. It's a beautiful day out there. As soon as you get in the shade though, it definitely turns bitter. As the ball comes out here to Mejia, dances his way through, plays it inside, looking to try and play in Grant Verhoeven, but the big boot of Sako Kanati gets that one away. Now Altitude have a chance to build. It's Atos De Sequeira. Rodriguez now. Lovely lofted ball looking for Sairub. He tries to turn and bring it down, but an important foot in there by Tyler Dillon, one of two former Altitude players in the TSS lineup this afternoon. Dillon and Habibullah, two key components for Falibas's side in their inaugural League 1BC campaign here in North Vancouver, making the switch to TSS for this season, and have been two of the standout performers all season long for Darren Rusher's side. Fairly even contest so far as Sairub again tries to make room to line the shot up. Instead plays it inside to a Hale, who'll line a shot. Took a deflection off Shmachenko. That could have gone anywhere. Ended up falling favourably for TSS into the path of Sagawa, and the Rovers will come away with a goal kick here. It was 25 minutes before the deadlock was broken last week with Masood Habibullah. Then 3 second half goals for TSS last week. Edwardson in the 52nd, Jones in the 85th, and Ivan Mejia putting the cherry on top of a very good cake 2 minutes into stoppage time. Sometimes it's kind of felt a little bit like feast or famine though for TSS this season. They've been kept off the score sheet in 3 of their 7 games, but they've kept the opposition off the score sheet in 4 of their 7 games. So you never quite know what you're going to get from this Rovers side. Altitude have had it tough to start the campaign. They've 8 games down, just 1 win to show for their efforts and 5 points. Been kept off the score sheet just twice, one of them in that 4-0 defeat last Sunday against TSS. And they've only managed to keep a clean sheet once. That was in the 0-0 draw at home here against Harbourside on May 28th. Only 6 goal scorers for Altitude this year as well, and it's looking forward to see Eagle Brook today wearing the number 16 jersey for Altitude. As that ball played in onto the head of Habibullah, but again the flag up quickly for offside there from the far side linesman. Eagle Brook, the 21-year-old forward, late joining the Altitude team, very familiar though here on the North Shore. I've watched him play in the past with Norvan in the VMSL. Scored on his debut in a defeat against Notsamot a couple of games ago. Didn't feature last weekend against TSS, but back in the starting lineup, leading the line today for them. This ball played forward well there by Verhoeven. Into Jones, he sends that one into the box, just onto the foot of Kanati though. Altitude can only clear it as far as Zohar. Verhoeven plays it back now to Sagawa. And TSS forced back here Long ball forward, and it's just going to run through to Trevor Schneider. We're in the 13th minute here. If you can see the Swangarians behind Trevor Schneider's goal, doing a minute's applause for Atiba Hutchison, the number 13 for Canada, playing his last match for Canada this afternoon, hoping to finish a stellar playing career for club and country by lifting some silverware in the Nations League final as Canada take on the US. Zohar switches the ball now out to the left side for Sagawa. Fugo Sagawa, one of a number of TSS players that have had pro experience. Had a season with York in the CPL. He's looking to try and get back into the CPL. Other guys like Ivan Mejia out on the left wing here looking to get the breakthrough into CPL. By all accounts, it looks like he might very well be doing that when the summer transfer window opens with Vancouver FC. Brook now, just dispossessed there. Mejia picks up the loose ball, tries to poke it through the two men. So that was Disa Kera that had just been depossessed there. Jones fires another shot, and don't think you would have had Kyle Jones down as having the two best chances of the game so far for TSS, but fired a fierce one in there that Schneider more than a match for. TSS again win the loose ball. They've been the first of these loose balls all afternoon so far. Verhoeven inside to Zohar. He's got room ahead of him, lofts one forward, just chipping in, trying to play in Masood.
Good recovery. Engage. Manage yourself. Hey, you can go 200 times.
Good hustle there from Alchin. They win themselves the throw in, which Marshall takes inside to Rodriguez. A hail now. Chips that one forward, looking for Sairub, who's come over to the right hand side. He's got Sagawa ahead of him. Marshall to his inside. Sairub keeps hold of the ball. He's forced to play it back now though to Rodriguez. He takes a cut inside. Little jink from him there. Plays it outside to Booth. Ball at the edge of the box now. No one can really bring it down to get a shot off. TSS doing some good blocking play and not allowing any space at all for altitude in and around the box here. Rodriguez out now to Marshall. His cross takes a deflection off Verhoeven, and it's going to run through effortlessly in the end to Justin Sandu. In goal today for TSS, as he has for most of the season. Connor Adams got the shout last week for the Rovers. Edwardson now. He's been so dangerous over the last season and a half for TSS Rovers. The league's leading scorer last year. 10 goals, got the Golden Boot award. And he's continued his fine goal scoring form for TSS this season as well. 6 goals now for Eric Edwardson on the year to go with 4 assists. Jones now cuts it back, looking for Edwardson. The ball's bouncing about in the altitude box. Who can get ahead in it? Kanati is the answer to that question. as Rodriguez in a battle there with Verhoeven, and Rodriguez wanting to get on with it quickly. Ball not in the right place though, and referee Ramich calling this one back.
Keep the tempo, ball speed.
Kanati now trying to drive this forward under the presence of Habibullah. Kanati, one of the new faces to this altitude lineup. 15 returnees to the squad from last year. Kanati, one of the new ones. As is Brook, who is on the ball just now. A loose ball initially picked off by Zohar, but it's been picked back up now by Lucas Booth. Sends it out to Matthew Marshall. Little cut inside by Marshall, looking for Di Sequeira. But Mejia doing well, tracking back to dislodge the ball from the altitude man. And the Rovers will now build this one out from the back. Sagawa brings it down, forced to take a touch and a turn inside though. Shmachenko now powering forward, but has to play it inside to Zohar now. It's broken up by altitude. Booth sends a high one here for Brook to try and chase down. Brook against Burrett, and it's the German that gets the better of the Israeli and heads it back to Justin Sandu in the Rovers goal. Zohar now looking to try and, I think, play that one more out wide, looking for Sagawa. Didn't quite get his direction on it. Now it's going to run through to Schneider. Walters long ball forward for Sairub to chase down in a foot race with Dillon. Dillon wins it against his former teammate. You wonder how much intel Dillon and Habibullah maybe have on this altitude side. Works both ways, of course. Mejia now takes a touch, tries to play a neat one out there to Sagawa. Now a nice 50-50 there, won by TSS. Mejia against Marshall. Jones now plays it inside to Zohar. Dillon looks up, has a lot of room ahead of him. Plays it back though to Zohar. Verhoeven under a battle with Booth. The two of them certainly had a good battle in the early going. And Kanati now will bring this one forward. Oh, and a misplay there by Kanati. Tried to play in Marshall. Didn't fully get the connection on that he was looking for.
Gotta cover behind me.
Things getting a little bit chippy on the sideline. Jones plays that one forward. Great delivery from Jones again into Mejia. Gets into the box at the byline. Sends a dangerous one into the back post. It's headed back into the danger zone though by Shavula. A little bit of chipping back and forward still going on between the benches. All stemmed from Kanati and Habibullah coming together at the halfway line. Kanati's studs certainly seemed to go down the back of Habibullah's legs and into his ankle. He was just complaining to the fourth official about that. a Hale now. Long ball forward by Hale, looking for Disakera, just has too much on it, and that's going to run through into the arms of Sandu. Nicely played out wide there by Verhoeven to Edwardson. Plays it back in, looking for Habibullah. Just runs away from him, and Altitude will get a chance now to bring it forward.
Let's go, boys! Let's go!
Past the midway point now in the first half, still goalless here. It was the 25th minute that TSS got the breakthrough last week. And the goals certainly reigned in the second half. Shavula wins that, plays it forward for a Hale to try and chase down. Shmichenko there, bundled over though by a Hale. Danilo Shmichenko down a little bit of pain there. That far side of the pitch is deceptively soft over there. I think there'd been a little bit of a water issue there a few weeks ago that has left it a little bit soft. TSS will get this one back underway. Great diagonal ball there from Smichenko, brought down well by Mejia. Tries to poke it past the player there, but an important foot in by Disakera. Mejia frustrated that there was no movement there from Grant Verhoeven. Hands the throw in off to Sagawa. Mejia was keen to try and get quickly on with that one. Sagawa plays it into Mejia, just runs away off him though, and it's going to be out for an Altitude goal kick. Kanati now, he's got a chance to get something going for Altitude. Rodriguez. Altitude forced to play it back and start again. And Kanati just plays it back to Schneider. Now Altitude will try and bring it out up the left wing this time, as Walters ships a lovely one forward here for Shavula to try and break down. Dillon gets to that first though, plays it off the Altitude man, and it's going to be out for a TSS throw-in as Shavula goes down in a heap there, just seemed to take a knock possibly onto his nose, I think, from the ball. Again back in the way now is Habibullah storming forward here for TSS. He's got Mejia in the middle, tries to get it through to Ivan Mejia, but an important foot in there to get that one away. Marshall just got the goal side there off Mejia to negate that danger. 4 goals for Ivan Mejia so far this season, second leading scorer on this Rover side. It's a Rover side that, although they've been putting the goals up, they do only have 5 players that have found the back of the net for them. One of them, Matteo Polisi, not in the game day 18 today, still struggling to get back to full match fitness. He's been playing all season with a niggling groin injury. You'll remember that heroic performance he put in for TSS against Valor. 2 goals on the night, could have had a hat-trick as well, but for that saved penalty, and he played that game with a groin injury. Just shows you how dangerous he can be when he's not fully fit. How dangerous can he be when he is fit? And the Rovers will hope to get him back fully fit for the business end of the season that's coming up. Sairub now plays this one inside to O'Hale. Cuts inside to Disakera, and Disakera nearly gets the opening goal. He does get the opening goal. It went over the line. I thought TSS had cleared it, but Disakera puts it away. 29 minutes on the clock, and it's the home side, Altitude, that lead this one 1-0. The blue smoke out, the flags are out from the Altitude faithful. Sandu did everything he could to try and keep that from crossing the line. I initially thought he had, looked over to the linesman who gave it. Great work there though by Anastasi Aheo to set that up. And Atos Disakera tucking it away, giving the North Shore side the lead. A third off this season for Disakera. Moves into first place with Sairub in the goal scoring charts for Altitude with 3 goals apiece. And that's the first assist of the season for Stasia Hale. Kind of felt this game needed a goal to open it up a little bit. Jones chips this one forward. Sagawa cutting that inside, looking for Habibullah, but flag up very quickly there. Kanati, long ball forward for Brook to try and chase down, and Brook looks like he's got the better of Barrett, but just takes an unfavourable bounce for Altitude there, and it allows Barrett to recover, get a foot onto that one and put that one out for an Altitude throw-in. Deep in the visitors' half here as they try to keep the pressure on. TSS certainly started the stronger. Altitude's definitely more come into this game as it's gone on. And a great crowd out here this Father's Day to take in this action. A loose one there from Barrett. It's picked off by Disakera, the goal scorer. Looks up to see who he's got in the middle, and it is Brook, and he nearly finds him. Shmachenko with a crucial header. Sairub lines up the long range effort, and that dipping one flies over the crossbar, not really troubling Justin Sandu in the slightest. But that is good stuff still from Altitude, keeping the pressure on, keeping TSS on the back foot here. Altitude just looking for their second win of the season. Booth playing that one forward to Disakera. Well brought down by him. Plays it inside to Marshall. In turn plays it back to Rodriguez. Good recovery though by Mahia to take that off the foot of the Peruvian. Very South American feel out there today. We've got Disakera, the Brazilian. David Rodriguez Zagara, the Peruvian. Ivan Mahia, originally from Colombia. Jones now. Habibullah, he's not had any looks at all this afternoon. Sagawa now. forced to take a touch and turn back, and forced now to play it back to Zohar. Mejia dances inside, lovely little chip ball forward to Jones. Looked like he had controlled it with his arm there, nothing given. As the wind really picks up again here at Kinsmen, and it's going to be a corner on the far side here to TSS. Jones over again on corner kick duty here for the Rovers. Good ball to the back of the box. Makes the header. Habibullah appeals for handball. The referee points to the spot. I don't think there was much that they knew about that at all, and Walters is saying that it was off the stomach, but referee looked over to the linesman, who indicated that he thought it was a penalty, and Rovers in the 34th minute here have a chance to get back onto level terms. Definitely would like to see that one back again. It's Eric Edwardson against Trevor Schneider. Edwardson steps up, takes it, fires it past the keeper, who goes the wrong way, and Edwardson brings this one level. 35 minutes on the clock. Eric Edwardson, his 7th of the season, and it's Altitude 1, TSS Rovers 1. That's harsh on Altitude. Getting the lead. It was a lead that only held for 6 minutes. They're still unhappy about that penalty decision. Would need to see that one back again. Did seem to come at the player at full force, and there was just a mass of bodies in there. Did not have the best of views here from the commentary booth. Hopefully the cameras maybe caught that a little bit better. But officials were in no doubt there was a penalty, and it's their decision that ultimately matters at the end of the day, as the Swan-Guardians bring out their red smoke. It's been a plethora of smoke here at Kinsmen this afternoon. Goals galore, as it's going to be a free kick as Marshall gets sent crashing to the deck right on the edge of the box there. The Altitude bench wanting a yellow card issued there. Not forthcoming. We'll just have to settle for free kick from a very good position. Sairub and Rodriguez standing over this one. It's going to be Sairub that takes it. Plays a short one inside though to Rodriguez, who chips one into the box onto the head of Zohar, onto the foot of Zohar. Di Sequeira now picks it up, takes a touch, turns back to Rodriguez, out to Sairub. Good footwork here by Sairub, still has the ball. And a bit of a lunge there at Mejia, nothing given. And Rodriguez sends one into the back post, but just carries that one over the line, and it's going to be a goal kick to TSS. Fantastic end-to-end stuff here at Kinsmen. Hope you are enjoying this one at home. As Dillon now sends a long one forward here for Habibullah to get onto. He gets the better of his man. Schneider off his line. Habibullah tries the chance. Great sprawling dive and stop there by Schneider. Kanati picks up the loose ball, and it cannons off Edwardson in the end. It's going to be out for an Altitude goal kick. Habibullah tried to get some height on that, couldn't quite get the height he needed to chip it over Schneider, but a great diving stop from the Altitude keeper. 6 foot 22-year-old that came through the Whitecaps Academy, Trevor Schneider. Vancouver FC certainly keeping an eye on Schneider, does some training during the week with the CPL side. Unofficially their third keeper. will be called upon if there is any need over the course of the season. As Kanati chips that one forward, looking for Marshall. Barrett gets there first though. Mahia, who's had to play a much deeper role than I'm sure he'd really be liking to at times in this half. TSS now just happy to move this along the back line, and Jones will bring it up the left. Mahia now, he's got room ahead of him. Well closed down there though by Disakera. The loose ball though falls to Sagawa, to Verhoeven at the edge of the box. Verhoeven can get a clean shot. There's 3 Altitude players in front of him. Tackles flying in all over the place. A crucial one though from Altitude captain Nathan Walters to knock that ball away, but the Rovers, the team that's keeping the pressure on here. Jones inside to Mahia. Sent crashing to the deck under a challenge from Booth. Booth can't believe it. Mahia getting into it a little bit with Marshall. Tension certainly rising a little bit here. Free kick taken quickly. The referee not ready for it though. This is certainly getting chippy out there just now. It's chippy in the benches. It's chippy between the players. TSS wanted to take that quickly. It was great call by Jones to make the run to get onto that, but Schneider more than a match for it in the end anyway, and there's still more coming together here. Shmachenko getting into it a little bit with Booth. Referee's going to need eyes all over the pitch here as the linesman coming on to help out the man in the middle. Should the fourth official is keeping a close eye on this as well. Yeah, I love to see it. Nothing like a game with a little bit of gritty chippiness in it. Two passionate sides that want to come away with the victory for different reasons today. Altitude trying to climb the table. TSS trying to top the table. Calmness is restored though here in the 41st minute. And it's Zohar and Jones standing over this. Schneider's given up a lot of room here to his right, and that's where Zohar tries to find it. But Schneider easily dealing with that in the end. He's going to roll the ball out now as once again the wind picks up. It just keeps coming in flurries, much like the goalmouth action here, it has to be said. As Sairub now up the left hand side here for Altitude. Pocket picked though by Zohar. Back to Zohar. He'll play it up the right wing here for Edwardson. He's got 2 men in the middle. Edwardson centres it in the trying to get it over to Habibullah, but the 6'7" giant frame of Saka Kanati gets his head to that. And it's Altitude now that's going to be coming away with it. Rodriguez out to his Langara teammate Atos Disakera, the goal scorer for the home side. He centres that ball, can't quite get the direction to get that onto the foot of Brook, and Sandu will get things going out to Shmachenko. Jones now, long ball forward out to Edwardson. Shavula with a head, knocks it past the winger, and Shavula recovers, and now he's got a chance to get something going here for Altitude. Instead chooses to play it inside to Booth. Rodriguez now looking for some movement, and Kanati will drive forward now. No space in any of the channels for Altitude in a lot of these possession plays that they have. Shavula will try and find some. TSS do such a good job at closing the players down. very quickly. Doesn't give them much time to think on the ball at all. Kanati now, he's got room and he's driving forward here, the big man. We've seen him play an advanced role. We saw him start against Rivers as a striker last week against TSS, finished the game in a much more advanced striker's position. As Fally Bass tried to get some kind of offensive spark from his team. Zohar now for TSS. Out to Sagawa. Closed down well though by Di Sakera. TSS quick to get on with it. Jones now. Inside to Verhoeven. Back to Jones. Oh, tries to play that into Sagawa. Just into the midriff instead of Di Sakera. Gets the ball taken off him by Verhoeven. Asking for the free kick there, but that was nothing in that one for me. Mejia now. Out to Jones. Jones, another great ball. Bouncing about the box. Takes a deflection, but nestles into the arms there of Schneider. That could have gone anywhere, but good quick anticipation and reaction from the altitude keeper. And Schneider will send this one long into the TSS half. Just onto the head of Zohar though, who'll head it out on the home side as we move into the last minute here. A chance to get maybe a late thing going. Be a few minutes of time added on, I think, in the first half of this one. Di Sakera now brings that one down well. Little touch outside to Brook. He can't quite get the direction on that and just sends it behind for another TSS goal kick. Last 30 seconds, we'll keep an eye on the fourth official to see how much time's going to get added on. As Mejia tries the cheeky little back flick, Marshall more than a match for that. Mejia and Jones linking up so well. Another little 1-2 there with Mejia and Habibullah. And Mejia sent crashing to the deck as Marshall yells at him, claiming a dive there, and Marshall's going to have to watch. He's getting a talking to here by the referee. Mejia certainly seems to have got under the skin of Matthew Marshall in this one. That's something that an experienced team like TSS will certainly look to play on as well, so Marshall certainly needs to keep his head here. Instead though, it is a corner on the near side here. Jones with it, sends it into the near post, looking for Zohar. Cleared by Altitude, only as far though as Verhoeven. Fally Bass telling his side they need to get out as Verhoeven lofts one in. Doesn't really have much direction on that, and it just runs behind for an Altitude goal kick. We are into stoppage time. Didn't see or hear the announcement. Was too busy watching the action there. A hail now. Altitude battling away now, looking to try and go in at the break with the lead. Brook now, he's been quite quiet in this first half. TSS have done a very good job at negating the danger that he poses. A hail has certainly been a live spark, as has Di Sakera, who's on the ball just now. Tries to play that back for a hail, but a hail did not make the run. Two minutes was the official time getting added on for stoppage time. We're into the second of that one just now. Is there time for one last chance for either of these sides before the half-time whistle blows? Nick Barrett now bringing the ball forward, looking for some movement, looking for an option, forced to just play it inside to Sagawa. He'll play that forward. I think they were looking for a run from Habibullah that never came. And that is the last action of the first half here. And it's been a very entertaining first half, a very even first half. It finishes Altitude 1, TSS Rovers 1. Atos Di Sakera firing home the opener for Altitude in the 29th minute. That lead only lasted 6 minutes though, before Eric Edwardson tied things up from the penalty spot. His 7th of the season now. We should be in for an absolute cracking second 45 minutes. Go stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice, and come back and join us for that. Welcome back to Kinsmen Field, North Vancouver. It's Altitude taking on TSS Rovers in League 1BC Men's Division action. We're tied at 1 apiece. A very entertaining first half. Atos Disekera giving the home side the lead in the 29th minute. Eric Edwardson equalising from the spot 6 minutes later. Amir Ramic getting the second half underway. Igal Brook getting this one underway for Altitude in the middle. Altitude playing down the slope in this half. When you've got tired legs, you certainly would much prefer to be playing down a slope, I think, in the second half. Don't think there's been changes from either side here at half time, just from my quick little look around. We'll keep an eye on that. So much on the line for both of these teams. Altitude currently sitting bottom of the League 1BC standings just with their 5 points. Currently sitting 8 points back off the playoff line. A win today doesn't put them back in that playoff picture, but it certainly moves them a little bit closer to it. And there's just been so little to choose between teams over the course of the season. Going in to this weekend, just 1 point separating the top 4 teams and 2 points separating the top 5. TSS coming into this game 3rd in the table with a game in hand over the team above them and 2 games in hand over Unity FC that lead the way. They know finishing first, claiming that back-to-back Canadian Championship berths, it's in their hands. A win today would certainly go a long way to doing that. They've moved now into the second half of their season. This is their 8th game. It's Altitude's 9th as Jones sends one into the back post. Massa bodies going for it. I think that was Nick Barrett. It was Nick Barrett that tried to get on the end of that. Great delivery once again from Kyle Jones. And there's a great crowd out for this one as well here on the North Shore. Behind Justin Sandhu's goal, you see the Swangarians in full voice throughout. Altitude fans also in good voice as the flag goes up there. This Father's Day encounter. TSS looking to continue to be the top daddies here in League 1BC. Or a giveaway there, pounced on by Rodriguez, who fires a shot and takes a deflection off Shmichenko, and Sandhu out quickly there to recover the ball. Dillon now, and his clearance chased down well by Sairub, and now a hail. This is fantastic pressure Altitude are putting on TSS in the early going of this half. Zohar now plays it out to Habibullah, who turns and powers forward. Takes a fortunate bounce for TSS, and Jones nearly poking that one past Kanati, and he would have been in on goal there. But a big outstretched foot there from the centre-back. Won that one, but Mahale picked up the loose ball, was dancing away there. Now Booth will get this clear. Disekera tries to turn and play that up the wing, but Sagawa breaks that one up. Aheo now. Out to Sairub. Thought about a little back heel there to Shavula. Instead plays it forward to Aheo. He's got Shavula on his inside making a good run. He finds him. Shavula takes a touch and just gets away from him there. Does the splits in the process. That looked painful to me as someone that can't do the splits. But that was a good chance there for Altitude. Good play by Aheo. Played in Shavula, just got a little bit away from him, and Barrett cleared the danger for the first corner of the second half here for Altitude. Sairub over to take it. can't get it past the head of Zohar at the near post, and now Jones will get it away. Shavula though picks it up. Jones just sends that loose ball high into the sky. You can see the wind moving the trees over in the distance. It's picked up again here. As Rodriguez now tries to find Brooke, but Mahia back doing a yeoman's job in the defensive side to break that one up. Now Dylan will bring it out the other side here for TSS. Lovely weighted ball forward for Habibullah to try and chase down. Just had a little bit too much on it. Kanati now, good distribution there out to the far side. Marshall. It's poked away by Sagaha, and it falls favourably here to Habibullah. Still Habibullah. Habibullah has been kept a little bit quiet in this one as an altitude player just goes down after the challenge there. I think it's not Sairub that's down. I think it's D. Sakera that is down. Altitude won't want to see him going off. He's had a very strong first half aside from that opening goal. TSS now get the game back underway. Dylan out to the far side to Edwardson. Disakera doesn't look too much worse for there. It looks like he's going to be able to come back on. Or maybe not actually. He's walking round with a bit of a limp. I don't know that he is going to be coming on. He isn't it? It's going to be a sub. Raphael George is coming on for Disakera there. That's a big blow for altitude in the 53rd minute here. Dylan just can't keep hold of that one, and it allowed Kanati a chance to break forward. And there is a booking to Kyle Jones in the 53rd minute. First booking of the afternoon. Probably the biggest man on the pitch getting tackled there by the smallest man on the pitch at the moment. And it's the big man that came off worse for wear. Well, one back there by TSS. Habibullah trying to break forward. Referee just wanting to calm things down again, just having a little chat with Ali Zohar. Schminchenko now out to Edwardson. He plays it inside looking for Dylan. It's poked back out to Verhoeven. He sends a good low one into the box. It's nearly met there by Kyle Jones, but instead it's Kanati who has a chance to break forward again. He's got really far advanced so far in this second half. Had quite a few breaks forward. That one there couldn't quite play in George, and it's going to be TSS that will bring it out slowly from the back through Barrett. Sagawa looking for some kind of movement or an option. In the end, has to play it back to Barrett. Shmudchenko now. Out to Edwardson. First touch back inside to Verhoeven. He goes to the deck. Habibullah plays it inside to Jones, who plays it back to Verhoeven, but just has too much on it. And that one's going to run out for an altitude goal kick. Kanati, ball forward, looking for Marshall, just hits that one out of play, and TSS quickly get on with this. Habibullah, back inside to Mahia. Dancing up that left wing, still Ivan Mahia. Cuts it back to Jones, who sends a delicious looking ball into the box, but it's too much on it over the head of Edwardson. Dillon, though, wins it back for the Rovers. He sends one in, looking for the head of Habibullah. But Kanati gets on that, and altitude get the foot away. But the ball's going to come back in here from TSS. They're keeping the pressure on. Habibullah takes a touch, turn. Thought he got the better of Booth, but that's great play there by Lucas Booth. As Sairub hits that one off Zohar, and it's going to be a throw-in to altitude. Walters sends that one high into the Rovers half. It's the Rovers though that's going to come away with it. Mahia dances past Rodriguez, dances past George. Zohar though forced to play that back. Zohar now plays that forward to Habibullah. It's had quite a lot of weight on that. Habibullah can't quite bring it down, but TSS keep it alive. Verhoeven. TSS again forced to play it back under the high press from altitude. This time altitude come away with the ball. George now. Little flick inside from Brook. Marshall now. Try to play it back into Rafa George, but cut out by the Rovers, and they'll now try and get something going themselves. Dillon out to Edwardson, who's forced to play it back to Zohar. TSS playing the patience game here, enjoying a lot of possession, not having a lot of room, not having a lot of outlets made available to them, as Edwardson can't do anything else but knock that out for a throw into altitude deep in their own half here. Shavula under pressure there from Edwardson. Edwardson goes right through the back of him there. Surprised that's not a card, I've got to say. Shavula down in a lot of pain there. Sagawa now. Still Sagawa wins. Oh, I thought he won a corner there. It's actually going to be a goal kick instead for Altitude. Neither side really able to carve out any clear-cut goal-mouth opportunities in the first 15 minutes of this second half. Still feels a little bit of a cagey affair. The longer this goes on, the more pressure really mounts on TSS because they know what a win can mean for them. They came here last year and Altitude got the better of them. The man that did the damage for them that day was Masood Habibullah. This year he's on the opposite side playing for TSS. And the ball is lofted forward here for Habibullah. Battling away with Kanati, and Kanati's just going to let that one usher out for a goal kick. So we're going to get the first substitution of the afternoon for TSS. Tyler Dillon making his way in the 61st minute. Nico Papakyriakopoulos coming on for TS. The TSS fans have a chant for Nico Papakyriakopoulos, especially when any announcers don't get his name right, whether it's One Soccer or the announcement here at Kinsmen as Edwardson plays that forward looking for Habibullah. Jones almost taking that off the feet of Kanati there, but again it's just going to run through to Schneider. Now, I mentioned the game between these two here last year. It was a 3-1 win in the end for Altitude. A brace for Masood Habibullah in that one. Lumovic also on the score sheet for Altitude. Still a chance, of course, that we'll see that 3-1 scoreline today. Eric Edwardson was a man on the score sheet for TSS in that one, already on the score sheet for them from the spot in the first half to tie things up at one apiece. Nika Papake nearly playing in Mahia up the wing. Just has too much on it, it's going to run out for an Altitude throw-in. The action certainly dipped a little bit in this one. Women's game was just end to end for the whole 90 minutes. This has kind of developed into a more cagey affair. TSS dominating the possession without really getting those clear-cut chances in the final third. Aheo now, he's been so good for them this afternoon. Tries to send one through for Sairu, but it's cut out well by Sagawa. Sagawa moved over to the right side now. The Papakyriakopoulos has come on. It's Sagawa on the ball. Taken up by Edwardson. Gets past Shavula. Shavula though recovers well. It's been a good battle between those two this afternoon. Walters, long ball forward for Rodriguez. Shmichenko there first though for the Rovers. And that's going to be poked away and it's going to be a TSS throw-in just inside their own half. Sagawa. Edwardson, a bit of a loose one there, picked back up by Altitude. Shmichenko and Brook battling away. Thought it was a foul, I would say, on Shmichenko there into the back of Brook, and nearly a bit of misunderstanding there. Marshall had to be so perfect with that header. But Mahia picks it up for TSS. Mahia inside to Habibullah. Mahia made the run to pick up the loose ball. Now it's out with Edwardson. Little step over from him. Can't get past Shavula. Tries to play it inside, looking for Jones. Mahia does well to win that. And Kyle Jones! What a strike by the former SFU man. Curler into the top left-hand corner from nothing. TSS in the lead here in the 66th minute. Kyle Jones, take a bow. That was a beautiful finish. I cannot wait to see that one back in the highlights and the full game when it goes up. It brings the smoke out from the Swan Guardians. What an absolute beautiful finish that was from Kyle Jones. We know he's got that in his locker. We've seen him do it for SFU. We've seen him do it at Calgary Foothills over the years. Seen him do it in VMSL for Metro Ford so many times, whether from free kicks, whether from open play like that, even at training. But I mean, that is up there for one of the goals of the season for me from Kyle Jones. Conor Hildebrand coming on amidst all that for Altitude to try and get something going for the North Shore side. TSS though now midway in through the second half have that lead they have been craving. TSS now just have to make sure they can see this one out. This would be 3 huge points if they can hold on here. Still a lot of football to be played though, just at the midway mark of the second half now. Barrett bringing this one forward. Jones again, he's been so busy today. Habibullah, nice little touch inside, just a little bit too much of a heavy touch there, and that was some collision between him and Kanati there. Kyle Jones' second goal of the season now for TSS. Need to see it back to see who got the assist in that. I think it was Ivan Mahia on the deck, but I would need to see it back. If it is indeed Mahia, that would be his joint team leading 4th assist of the season. What have Altitude now got in reply? Aheo, nicely lofted ball, just had a little bit too much on it though. That's a loose one there, but it's no harm done as Zohar picks it up again. Edwardson now. Feels a rare occasion these days when Eric Edwardson hasn't contributed either a goal or an assist for this Rover side. Habibullah now. Plays that out to Kyle Jones, who has another effort on goal there and blasts that one over from a tight angle. It's the referee calling a trainer on right away. TSS going to make another substitution now. Gabe Escobar coming on for Grant Verhoeven. Gabo still trying to get back to full match fitness. As Marshall is up okay for Altitude. Escobar will take up that position on the left midfield. Escobar, of course, after the League One season last year, went and played some minutes in the CPL with Halifax. Oh, and Connor Hildebrand there with a chance. Deflected over the bar there, and that was almost a chance for Hildebrand to get his first goal as an altitude player. Keep telling him he has to get this first goal. Maybe today is the day. Altitude have a corner though on the far side. Lovely sent in onto the head of Walters, who just manages to direct it outwards instead of towards goal. And Booth is forced to play that one back to Schneider, way back. Looks like Falibas going to make another substitution, calling some of his subs over. Into the last 20 minutes here at Kinsmen Field. TSS now holding that 2-1 lead. Hildebrand battling away with Smichenko. The loose ball picked up by Mejia. Oh, beautiful chip over Booth there to find Zohar. Jones sent crashing to the deck. Kanati picks up the loose ball. He gets it picked off his foot though by Escobar. Bernardo Eloz all set to come on for altitude. As once again the wind picks up here. Now some grey clouds rolling in as well. Mentioned during the women's game that there was rain in the forecast, and it seems to have been raining goals here this afternoon. 5 goals in the women's game, 3 goals in this one, and you feel it's not finished yet. It's been a fantastic, entertaining afternoon of football here on the North Shore. If you've enjoyed watching it on YouTube, come out to some of the games. Still some home games left for altitude. As Edwardson now on the ball, played inside to Escobar. He tried to find Mejia, but cut out by an altitude foot. Only as far though as Kyriakopoulos. Jones, he has been in the thick of the action from the very early going here. Mejia too has had a really good afternoon. Busy on the ball. Mejia with a shot, takes a deflection, and it gets past Schneider and nestles into the bottom left hand corner. It's another goal for Ivan Mejia. His 5th of the season. It's 3-1 to TSS in the 73rd minute. Loath to say it's job done, but you've got to feel they've almost got the 3 points in the bag now. Don't know if you can pick up the Swan Guardian song there for Ivan Mejia. They say he's a star man. He certainly is. How much longer are we going to see him in League 1 BC? CPL teams, come and get your man. He is ready. He is locked. He is loaded. And he is ready to go in the Canadian Premier League. 2 fantastic goals for TSS in this half. That one with the aid of a deflection. Schneider a little bit unshielded there, but TSS just turning the pressure up when they've needed it most. That first half certainly wasn't one of their best first halves of the season. They've brought it though in the second. They've dominated the second and really haven't given Altitude much of a sniff. Altitude though not out of it yet. We saw the women fight back to make it 3-2 and set up a grandstand finish. Can the men do the same and maybe even go one better? Rodriguez now playing that forward, looking for George. It runs through. George is going to get onto it, but Sandu comes out off his line very quickly there. SFU keeper not had a lot to do in this half, keeping himself busy there. He's another one of these TSS players that you have to feel CPL side should be having a look at. Danilo Shmachenko, another. Gabe Escobar, Eric Edwardson. Always Eric's age gets held against him, but he's a man with 7 goals and 4 assists on the season, and we're only in week 8. And doesn't even have any registered in the game today, as he was on the ball there.
Next one.
Sagawa, long throw in there, forward for Habibullah. Nice little flick on inside for Edwardson. He pokes it forward, but Kanati does well to cut that chance out. Better showing from Kanati this week defensively, I would say. Wasn't at his best in that game at Swangard last weekend. Bit of an off day for a few of those altitude players. They've been much better this afternoon. Unlucky, you may feel, to be 2 goals down. They certainly made a match of it. As I said though, TSS have turned the pressure up when it's mattered the most. Long ball sent forward by Schneider. Hildebrand gets to that but headers it out, and Figo Sagawa is going to be over to take this throw in for the Rovers. 77th minute here. Sagawa won't be in any rush to get on with this one. Mejia tries to do one of his fancy little flicks that he's so good at. And Walters forced to play this one back to Schneider. Jones, certainly in my running for man of the match at the moment. Altitude throw in midway in the Rovers half. Get on with it quickly. George gets it back as they try to rally the altitude fans. Can they spark a comeback? Habibullah though picks that one off the foot of Kanati. Kanati's closing him down well. Habibullah's got Edwardson in the middle. Habibullah goes for goal himself. Doesn't miss by much. I think it was as well doing that because it would have been tough to kind of play Edwardson in there. Kanati doing his best to try and recover that one, but Habibullah did manage to get the shot off. Walters now. Long ball forward. Rodriguez going to have to try and chase this down from Sagawa. The right back plays it back though to his keeper, and now Shmachenko will play this out to Jones, who's been all over the pitch, including sent crashing down to it on a couple of occasions as well. Another one of them there. It's going to be a double substitution coming up for altitude as well, as Falibas tries to get some spark into his side. Caleb Valance and number 19, one of the 2 men coming on. Played in League One last year with the Whitecaps. Double substitution also coming up here from TSS. Just number 4, Costa Adzic, and number 19, Caleb Valance coming on for altitude. Number 20, David Rodriguez, one of the players to make way. And I think it's number 10, Stasi Aheo, that's gone off at the far side of the pitch. For TSS, Kyle Jones making way. What a shift he has put in this afternoon. And Masood Habibullah as well. Goalless, but a good performance as well. Coming on the number 22 for TSS. That's Kian Proctor. And number 21, Shaya Zaramjampur. Zaramjampur hasn't had a lot of minutes for TSS this season. So a chance now to see out the last 10 plus here. As George now gets inside. If Altitude can just get this next goal, this is going to set up some finish here. Valence to Booth. Shavula now tries to play that back inside for Valence. Important foot in there by Zarjanpur. And Saigawa will play this back to Sandhu. He'll distribute it out now to the left-hand side. Papakiriakopoulos forward there to Proctor. Proctor setting up one into the back post. Edwardson's there for it. He plays it and appeals for a penalty off Kanati there. Nothing given. As Sharampur brings Kanati crashing to the deck. Or rather, it's the other way about. It goes the TSS way. That ball just runs off the foot of Nico. It's a quiet looking Altitude bench over to my right. Wouldn't say resigned as to what this result's going to be, but it does feel things are not quite going for them this season. We said that last season, then they had that spurt towards the end where they just were racking wins up left, right and centre. It was looking so promising for them when they went ahead in the 29th minute from Atis Di Sakera. Eric Edwardson equalising from the spot. Just realised I'd said a few minutes ago it's unusual for a game where Edwardson hasn't got a goal or an assist. He did get a goal in this one, so ignore that. It's just been so many goals, I'm losing track. And Proctor now! And Kian Proctor tucks it away! His first goal as a TSS Rover. 83 minutes gone. Another 4-goal performance from the Rovers here. Delighted for Kian Proctor to get his name on the score sheet. High hopes for this lad. He's away to go and play the college season in Canada West with the Fraser Valley Cascades. He's looked good all pre-season. I talked him up in previous Rovers broadcasts as he could be a player that breaks out for them this year. It's hard when you're a forward to get much playing time when you've got the likes of Habibullah, Mahia, Edwardson doing the business for you up front. He's got his chance to shine today. Makes it 4-1 to the Rovers. That is surely now game over. Fourth time this season as well that TSS have put up four goals. Sorry, I was just pausing there because my handwritten notes, I've realised I've written the women's score in the men's section. But yeah, the fourth time this year that TSS have put up 4 goals. Those other 3 games were 4-0 victories. Right now, this is shaping up to be a 4-1 victory. This one, Guardians serenading Kian Proctor with a "he's one of our own" chant. Can the Rovers go nap here at Kinsmen Field? Proctor, Edwardson battling away and crashes that one off the left post. Schneider, I thought he had that covered, got past him and then just went off the left post there. Great stuff there from Double E, looking to get his double today. '85th minute here. TSS still looking for more, and they need to as well, because you never know, goal difference could play into things in terms of playoff positioning come the end of the season. Another double substitution coming up here for TSS. Nasib Baines coming on, along with Taylor Richardson. Eric Edwardson, the captain, making way, handing over his captain's armband to Danilo Shmichenko. 1 goal this afternoon for TSS, leading scorer. 7 goals now on the season. Nearly had a second. Ali Zohar, the other man to make way. Altitude though, still fighting. Still wanting to get some more goals. Tommy Wazek, my photographer, taking my paperweight away. Remember, check out Tom's photos on AFTN's Flickr account after this match. Flickr.com/AFTN Canada. You'll see all Tom's League One photos and all his other photos that he does for us. The hardest working photographer in the Lower Mainland, maybe even Canada. Let's just say Canada. He deserves it. There's been a lot of goals for him to photograph this afternoon. 10 goals. I spoke about it was going to be maybe raining. It certainly rained goals at Kinsmen Field as the dark clouds start to move over the field for altitude. Certainly has moved over the team in this second half. Dominant Rovers performance. Richardson now. Just a wild strike there from Proctor. Why not? You've got your first goal to your name. Why don't you go for some more? Cian Proctor, the youngest player on this Rovers squad. Saw some time with Coastal FC in the VMSL Adult League over the season as heavy head knock there on the back of Zarjampur. Shavula looking for some movement, forced to pay that one back to Kanati, who's immediately under pressure from Proctor. Looking forward to seeing what Cian Proctor does in Canada West with the Cascades this season. You never know how much time a rookie is going to get, but he certainly has the skills to carve out some playing time for Fraser Valley. I know Tom Lowndes will be watching his performance this season, and especially in the game today, and be delighted and rubbing his hands at what he's going to have there with that Cascades team. Kanati now. Forward to Valence. Turns away from his man. Plays it out to Shavula. Nice ball inside from Shavula. Back to Valence. Shmichenko knocks it off the altitude player, and that is going to be out now for a TSS goal kick. We're into the last minute here at Kinsmen. We'll keep an eye on the fourth official, see how much time he is going to get indicated to get added on. Wouldn't foresee there being too much. There has been that wrath of substitutions, I guess. Sagawa now. Move back more into the left and middle. Mejia. Can he get another goal to his tally this afternoon? Plays it back to Shmichenko. Zarjanpur cuts it back to Proctor. That's another shot a goal. Ball breaks to Mahia at the edge of the box. Pokes it forward to Proctor. Proctor in again! And Proctor has his second. 90th minute. What time is it? It's 5 past altitude as TSS Rovers go nap. Cian Proctor with his second of the afternoon. 3 minutes of stoppage time going to get played in this one as well. Cian Proctor, what an introduction he's had. He's threatened to get his name on the score sheet for TSS, and he's done it twice now in the last 7 minutes of this one. 83rd and 90th minute for Cian Proctor. Played in there by Zarjanpur as well. That's going to be his first assist of the season. And the Swan Guardians still manage to have some smoke left as they dig it out here. Kanati just with a wild strike. You can see the frustration, I think, that's kind of settled into the altitude team here. They've played well. They've just been outplayed and outclassed really in this second half. It feels like they've been second to every ball. Good first half showing though. 5 fixtures left for altitude after this one. They're at home next Sunday in what should be a very entertaining game against the Whitecaps. We'll have the midweek call as well for TSS Rovers against the Whitecaps on Wednesday night from Swangard. Whitecaps then here on Sunday, June 25th. 2 away games coming up then for altitude. Away to Unity, away to the Highlanders, before they finish with a home game against the Highlanders on July 16th. That's their last home game of the season. And then July 23rd, away in Nanaimo to Harbourside. If you've enjoyed what you've seen this afternoon here at Kinsmen, there's still a couple of home games left. Get out and support this altitude side. They really do deserve your support. They put on a fantastic game day performance. Some great players on display as well. Some entertaining football. You've had 10 goals served up for you this afternoon. And could there be more as Taylor Richardson still pushing here? Tackle there from Hildebrand on Zarjanpur. The Swan Guardians certainly in full voice now. Darren Rusher's Red and White Army, the chant coming from the west end of the stadium. And referee Amir Ramic puts altitude out of their misery. It finishes here. Altitude 1, TSS Rovers 5. Altitude taking the lead in the 29th minute from Atos Di Sakera. 6 minutes later, TSS tied it up from the spot. Eric Edwardson, the Rovers' leading scorer, getting his 7th of the campaign. That's how it stayed till half time before TSS found another gear, as they did last Saturday. They turned it up. Kyle Jones with a goal of the game from my man of the match, I have to say as well, to make it 2-1 in the 66th minute. Ivan Mejia with a deflected low effort into the bottom corner made it 3-1 in the 73rd. Then a pair of goals from Cian Proctor, the young striker that's come through the systems here and is going to be playing his football in the fall with Fraser Valley Cascades. He scored in the 83rd, he scored in the 90th, 5-1 to TSS Rovers. Depending on how results went elsewhere, they may be finishing this weekend top of League 1 BC. Even if they're not, they're going to be there or thereabouts, and their chance to get back to the Canadian Championship is still very much in their hands. I've been Michael McCall. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage this afternoon. We'll be back next Sunday for the game against the Whitecaps. Until then, check out all the Altitude FC stuff on their social media. We'll see you soon.